Hello, this is Mark Harris. I am making chicken Brunswick stew here, vegetarian chicken Brunswick stew. And I wanted to go over this for people that want to make either type. This is a vegetarian, and what you do to make chicken Brunswick stew is you do the same thing except you don't boil the chicken. And you can buy a roasted chicken. This is quick and easy. This version is quick and easy. And if you buy a roasted chicken, it's not much more difficult. You want to put a chicken in some water. Put a whole fryer in water with salt and pepper, and you boil that for about an hour for the non-vegetarian chicken Brunswick stew. And salt, pepper, water to cover, and you boil it. You wait for it to cool down, and then you pull the chicken out and pull the pieces of meat off the chicken, put them back in the pot, and then the rest of it is about pretty much what I'm doing, except for I'm adding some oil because there's no oil with the soy protein. I got some soy protein. You soak it for about a few hours. They say I heard someone tell me soak it for 12 hours. I don't think that's necessary. Soak it for 3 or 4 hours, or about 2 hours, and that ought to do it. You put the chicken back in there if you're making with chicken, and you heat up the water in the chicken again, and then add these ingredients. And except for the oil, I'll put some oil in it. And I don't have an exact recipe for this. This is kind of by memory, but I'd say put in, if you're making vegetarian chicken Brunswick stew, I'm making a double portion. This is a double batch. So this is not, and let me make sure this is recording. This is not one batch, it's 2 batches. Put the textured vegetable protein after it's done soaking, and it costs about $3 for a pound, and you get probably about 3 pounds for $3 once you finish soaking it, because the water gets in it. Put the oil in there. I'd say about a half a cup of oil would probably do it. Bring it to a boil, and this is the first time I've ever done this. I know how to do the one with chicken. I'm doing this the vegetarian way, but I know how to cook with textured vegetable protein. Cut up about for not a double portion. For something that's not a double portion, cut up about three small onions, or 3 medium onions, or maybe 1 big onion, and about 2 potatoes or 3 potatoes, and you add that to it. And it's the same way except for what I said. It's the same way for vegetarian chicken Brunswick stew, or the chicken Brunswick stew with meat. You add the onions, and now I smell like onions. You add a small can of tomatoes. It's very easy. I mean, the hard part is really the chicken. If you're cooking with chicken, the hard part is really the chicken, because you have to boil it, and you have to and they have to pull it apart. But with the vegetarian version, is easier. Put the onions and the potatoes in, and a small can. I'm making a double portion. A small can de Fratelli is good. A small can of tomatoes. Put in about 2 teaspoons or a tablespoon of salt. Again, I'm making double, so I'm putting in more. And you should always be careful with salt. Don't put in too much. And maybe about 2 teaspoons or a tablespoon of pepper, but again, I'm making double. And so I'm putting in more. And get your lima beans. These are baby lima beans. I didn't know I was getting baby ones, but baby ones are probably better than the big ones. More tender. Put those in there, and I'm making a double portion. You need 1 bag of baby lima beans for just a regular amount of chicken Brunswick stew. I'm using 2 bags because I'm making double. And then after you've done all that, and this is easy, isn't it? It's not hard. I mean, dealing with the chicken is the hard part of chicken Brunswick stew. I've taken that out of it. And it's best to get shoe peg corn. I got this corn. And you want to have about a pound. This is 2 pounds. You want to get shoe peg corn if you can find it. I mean, don't worry about it because I didn't worry about it. But shoe peg corn is better, and it comes in a can. It's not frozen as far as I know. And you put that in there. But I don't know whether this will all fit. This is pretty tight. And you might want to mix it around. Yeah, that'll fit, I guess. And you clean up the mess. Be careful when you're cutting the onions, because onions are slippery, especially if you're not used to cooking. Onions are slippery, and the knife can slip, and it can cut your hand. Best to cut them. I cut them like this. Hold my fingers on either side and cut them one way, and then I ball out my fist and cut them that way. I do that a lot of times anyway. Anyway, you bring this to a boil. And it looks delicious already, doesn't it? And it's very simple. And I've shown you how to make vegetarian chicken Brunswick stew. And you can make, and maybe I should have gotten another can of tomatoes, as much as I'm making with all the other stuff. But there are the tomatoes. It's easy, bring it to a boil. Bring this to a boil, and this might be a little difficult as full as it is. I didn't think it'd be that full. Bring it to a boil and serve it. Very easy. God bless you, and I wish you enjoy this meal. And I wish I do too, since this is the first time I've ever tried this. But I've cooked chicken Brunswick stew before. All right.